Welcome, everyone. We are here with the Great Unlock crew. Everyone is here, and we are again meeting you for a lovely chat about all things manifestation. Because that's the theme for this month. It's the theme moving forward, to be fair. This is a big manifestation year for a lot of people. So, how is everyone?
I'm good.
You
Good.
good?
Good.
Couldn't be better. It's just a nice
Yeah.
sunny day.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
Today
great.
is a great day. Great day.
Cool, 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 cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Corey, I want you to jump in with what your
Right.
son told you. I
Oh,
want to hear.
bruh.
I want to
So,
hear.
okay. So this is not. I mean, it is manifestation related, but not strictly. But so my son tells me yesterday, like, Dad, I saw something in my room last night, and I was like, okay. And my son always sees stuff. Like, I literally, there was a time maybe a couple years ago where I was having a conversation with him, and he looked over my shoulder with these big eyes, and I thought my wife was like behind me, like playing games. He's like, no, it's a man behind you, and he looks like da da da. And I was like, you fucking with me? Stop playing. And so, and this was even before I had even done OBE, so it kind of creeped me out. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it's something over my shoulder. So always sees, and then he kind of told me like describe whatever. So anyway, fast forward to last yesterday, he's like, Dad, I saw something in my room, and he tells me he had sleep paralysis. This is the first time he's ever had it where he could describe it, and he was like, I couldn't move, but I was awake. I knew I was awake, but I couldn't move. He said, but I could see. And I said, yeah, that's your soul eyes. You're not looking with your real eyes. It's your soul eyes. So you see it. And he said a a a a, a tall man in the room. Like I said, what, like about as tall as the ceiling? He's like, yeah. And I said, what did it look like? And he said it was gray. It was like a shadow. And I started laughing, and he's like, looking at me like, why are you laughing? I'm like, bro, that's I've seen that in the house too. And he told me that basically the shadow being reached out to him and said, he said, come with me. And obviously he's 14 years old. So he's like, fuck no, I'm not coming with you. What are you talking about? And so
Stranger danger.
right. So this right. So the shadow being actually picked him up. This is what he described to me. It picked him up and like carried him towards the door. And then he said, no, I'm not going. And then the shadow being put him down, and then he woke up in his body. And I thought that was the coolest experience because A, when you have them and you're a kid and you don't have a father who knows this stuff, that shit can be scary, and you will shut off all your ability to do anything else until you not in fear anymore.
Right.
So I explained to him exactly what it was. And it was crazy because I asked him to describe what the being looked like. And it's the very same thing I saw in the experience where I came out of my body and I walked around my house. It was the exact same height thing. And I told him what I did. I said, I just went up to it and tapped it on the shoulder. He's like, you could do that? I was like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. So I took all the fear out of it. And I told him, I said, next time that happens, ask that being to reveal itself. And if it looks like a monster, then start asking it questions or tell it to show itself like a clown or something funny that you can laugh at. And so I just kind of gave him, and I bring that up because a manifestation, that is the foundation of the other side. So I want to be very clear about that. We manifest instantly on the other side. So whatever you decided to be is what it will be for you, regardless of whom or what. The only thing you can't manifest is something that's going to hurt another soul. Like you just can't do that. But unless that other soul believes it to be true. But I love that experience he had because now it's teaching him his control over these experiences and over what's on the other side. And you don't have to be in fear because that's ultimately what I want the next generation. The next generation needs to know what we know now so that they can move their entire lives outside of fear. That's going to help the collective consciousness move towards the end of the construct and whatever the golden age or whatever we move into. But that's all going to be helpful because the next generation is not going to be in fear like we were.
Right.
So it was just a cool experience that like when he described what it looked like, I didn't say anything because I didn't tell him what I saw. I said, describe with detail. What did it look like? He's like, it didn't have a face. It was just gray. It was like dark gray. and it was just a silhouette of a tall man. It was like probably nine. I said, I put my hand to the ceiling, like this tall. He's like, yeah, like all the way to the ceiling. I was like, he's like, you're so tall. And I just laughed because I was like, yo, that's exactly what I saw. So I
That's
said, that's
dope.
the same thing I was standing over your mom when I walked through the house. And then his mom was there and she was like, don't say that. Don't tell me that. And I was like, man, it ain't going to do nothing to you. Clearly it ain't. He picked my son up and he told him he ain't going and he put him back down. So it's clear that you have that control. So I thought that was a real cool experience because, like I said, I just want these kids to not think. I don't want my son to have the experience I had and not have somebody to talk to about it, and somebody who can get the fear out of the experience. Because I'm telling you, once you have them when you're a kid, everybody has them when they're kids.
Yeah. I remember the last one I had because I shut it down because my parents were like, "Oh, you're just dreaming.
You got the devil." My parents, I'm trying to tell you. If I would have told my parents they was gonna take me to the front of the altar in the church and had to pour all this oil, this damn olive oil all over me, and pray the demon out, that was what was gonna happen. So I never said nothing about it. But we outside of that bondage now. So it's cool to be able to share that experience with your kids and hopefully they'll have more. Like my daughter sees stuff all the time, and I told her like, hey, tell it to turn into what's her thing? It's a Roblox character. Tell it to turn into a Roblox character, and you'll be watching it. And she's like, okay, daddy. So it's kind of cool, and so I just thought I'd share that with y'all.
Well, and that's also
That's beautiful.
That's our default state, as you said. So not shutting that down and explaining it to them, they're gonna have such an easier time with things like manifesting because of that. Because that's just your default state. You're doing it all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. In regard to what you actually shared, it's got me thinking about how when you have limitation, it shows on the other side. So sometimes using your dream as a gauge of how much limitation you hold within, it's quite helpful and very important actually, because everything it's like a mirror. Everything that's taking place here start on the other side. So if you hold on to these beliefs and you feel limited, it will show up in your life.
Correct.
And so you having dreams or using the dream state or OBs and trying to dig deeper for that purpose is really helpful because and don't use fear to do it. But if you want to be able to clear your field and manifest on this side, I think it's extremely important.
Yeah. I like how you walked your son through telling his story, like telling like his experience to you, and that you didn't try and front run anything, but then the way that he naturally was like in command, and you then reinforced that, like, do you see that this is what happened? He put you down because you are ultimately in control. And that's beautiful, because we do the same with our kids. But when I hear it from someone else, I'm like, okay, good, we're building out something for everyone in the future.
We got our soldiers. We got our little soldiers that we gotta get.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love that, Corey.
Yeah, I like that.
Because I think even if it's a thought form, then that's based off a belief you have.
It's still a manifestation.
It's still a manifestation. So it might not be, and if it's not, then you may be able to get like a lot of information by asking that being, more questions.
Right.
So it's actually and it's kind of like how you have to behave here in this reality as well, by asking yourself questions.
And
while manifesting.
And it's turning fear into the opposite spectrum of fear is really curiosity. So
an openness to everything instead of
correct. And that's what curiosity will bring, an openness. Like if you're curious about it, you've always been told people fear what they don't understand. We've all been told that. I remember the first time it was said to me in elementary school, we was doing Black history. And people fear what they don't understand. Now it's just like, okay, cool. Like that didn't mean much to me then, but I understand that now, because if you're curious and you're seeking to understand, then that automatically will replace fear. So in order to manifest what you want, fear, and we're going to talk about that. And I'm glad we're having this conversation, because I really want to start our conversation on Sunday with eliminating fear in order to manifest what you want.
Yep.
I think that's important, because fear is the great disabler.
It's like hitting the off switch or flipping the valve.
And when I tell people this, I don't mean to sound preachy, because I still deal with fear in my life. Not like fear of OBEs or stuff like that, but like anger can manifest itself from fear. So I'll get mad about something. Really, it was just a fear that I thought this was going to happen, and then that happened, and whatever. So I think it's really important and that's why it was important for me to have that conversation with my son. Like, okay, get rid of it. Make sure we're not moving in fear. Because when you're outside of fear and you're inside of love, then you're in control. And so manifestation is so, listen, manifestation is you. You're doing it, whether it's good or it's bad, it's you. There is no other source. If your life is shitty, that's your fault.
Right.
If your life is great, it's your fault. So we're going to obviously get into that more detail, what that means, but
it's like making people conscious of it again. Like you've fallen a bit asleep here, because that's how this place is set up. Everybody went through it. So don't feel bad about that. Just we're gonna start waking up again now.
People think I'm some kind of OB guru. I'm not. Sometimes I get back into realm one in life, and I'm fucking around in realm one, and I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute. I remember that I don't have to even deal with this, so I don't even have to. I don't even have to respond to these things this way. You know, something I do every day now, and I've been doing it for a while, but sometimes I hadn't, and I'm getting back to doing it. I take maybe 5 minutes out of my day to just look at my hands and just be like, this ain't even real. This shit ain't even. These are not real. These are literally just
your lucidity check.
Yes. I'm like looking at my hands. I'm like, that's fucking crazy that I chose to come down here in this shit. Like, I still do it all the time.
I actually wanted to raise a question in regards to fear and manifesting. You hear about vampiric energies, and a lot of people are asking themselves, like, how can I prevent that? Or is it actually even real? Is it a real thing? So I want to ask you guys, and girls, what do you guys think? But what do you guys think about that?
I feel like that's part of manifesting. If you want to like do it cleanly, let's say, like, okay, do you run off and tell your husband? Do you run off and tell your brother, your wife, whomever it is, about it, and they immediately sabotage your new little idea that you're working on, because like you both kind of do that to each other. You kind of you keep each other rooted right where you're at. If you do that, that person is kind of, well, it's kind of like energy vampirism at that point, because you came in all excited and happy, and they're like, and now you're where you're at. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's possible. I will say, as a caveat, it's if you believe it to be true, of course, but the people that you are the closest to are the ones you're typically the most vulnerable towards too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Corey?
He ended exactly where I would have picked it up at. Like, yeah, I believe that is a thing, but I believe it's only a thing because you believe it's a thing. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe anybody has any power over me other than the power that I give them. That's how I move. If somebody pissed me off, it isn't because they pissed me off. It's because I allowed them to piss me off. So even with the vampiric energy, you still manifesting that because you are feeding into the vampiric energy.
Right.
The easiest way not to do it is don't tell people your shit. And now you don't even have to worry about that being an energy, because you don't give that energy any room to manifest, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with you, Bless. It is a real thing, but I think it's only real because we give it the power that we give it.
Right.
And I'm always going to be, I am the great empowerer. I'm going to empower everybody around me that you are God, you make the decisions, and everything that is around you moves in accordance to how you operate, good and bad. So yes, I do believe it is an energy. I do believe that if you don't want it to be an energy in your life, absolutely it doesn't have to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think?
Mine goes twofold. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mine goes twofold because I grew up with people who would be considered in the, I guess, psychological world as narcissists. So it was growing up, that was something that was very real to me. Okay. But it's a two-way street, because on the other side of a vampiric energy is also an empathic energy. So it's like one coin, two different sides. Yeah. The ability to pick up on people's feelings and the ability to feel what they feel and the ability to feel into the energy of it can be used for manipulation, or it could be used for whatever it is that the person wants
you
it
choose
for.
to use for it.
Right. Exactly. Some people just choose for it to be for their own gain only. But what I would say about that is when it comes to like family members, like if you're going to share something, so sometimes you could do something you feel really, really, really like excited about it, and then you go and share it with your closest, right? And then your closest has a reaction to it that may feel like it's falling flat. But what a lot of us do is like internalize that reaction. And
we
then
make that our reaction.
You make it something that you feel, instead of asking it like how you would ask your field something. So when I have like, if I have something that comes up like that, what I usually do is, because I understood now, like my relationships that I've picked like close to me, my divine relationships are mirrors of me. And that's what I've asked them to do. Can you mirror blah, blah, blah? So if I see something that I don't like, I usually ask, there's something there I don't like. What is that? Because this is how I'm reading it. And usually how you're reading it is more of a reflection of what it is you are asking for rather than what it is they're trying to give you. So the other day, actually, I must have said something to Amondi, and his answer to me sounded like, to me, that I shouldn't do that thing anymore. That's not a good idea. Like, it was great, but you might want to change this, this, and this. And when I answered him back about it, I was like, I don't really like that answer, because it makes me feel like, boom, like you don't want me to do this, this, and this. Like, are you trying to hold me down? Like, are you trying to hold me back? You're trying to bash my blessings because I is God. Like, what you doing? Like, it was that energy, yeah. And he was like, no,
Monty being such a trooper right now. Just
I see you up here. Like, he's like, no, I see you up here. Like, I just wanted this for you. And I was like, yeah, but you're forgetting those took steps, and I'm just step one right now. So you're gonna have to meet me where I'm at, and then sure, I'll get that path. I thought you were trying to like cut me down and expect too much of me. He was like, no, I just that's not it. So I think what happens with people, and this is where Corey and Bless were saying, allowing people to do that, is if you don't like to question those around you, because you're scared that they're going to react in a certain way, you're going to lose favor, lose love, lose all of these things with them.
Right.
When if you asked them what it was, you'd find out it wasn't vampiric at all. Was vampiric is your reaction towards them.
Right. Which goes
that you need them to give you approval.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, goes right back to how Corey put it with the anger thing, right?
Yes.
How did you interpret your anger?
Yes.
Do you know what? It is
feel that.
It is really funny you mentioned this, because I actually was so you don't put yourself
you like you don't put saying that. Let me tell you what I
say. Oh, that.
Thank God we sort our shit out before we come on live, right?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
So what it was actually is absolutely the synchronicity is real, because it was actually because I didn't want you being taken advantage of. And I say sometimes if you expect people to know when enough is enough, you could give forever. That was where I came from. And it was actually quite the contrary. it happened that sometimes things aren't always understood the way we expect them to be understood. And again, that's an expectation. Ultimately, in the light of what we just talked about, the way this is all work is about dominant frequency. So it almost doesn't matter what people do around you if you don't emit weak signal. But if you are weak in your signal, then no wonder someone can just
come and knock you off.
Knock you off that easily.
That's what I was like. Who do you think you are? You think you're knocking me off? Yeah, you're knocking me off.
And this all understanding and the details of all of this. The details of all of this, I'm actually love you as well, because you and your ADHD, I was just trying to stay on course. Shit. But what I'm saying is, and I'm here for it. So that's what I'm getting into. But I'm trying to be like, so basically all the details of how you maintain a strong frequency when you want to manifest, these are what we're going to go through on Sundays. Because there's protocols, there's way to do it. And even the things that you thought that is like all these Illuminatis and all these people, all these elites, they're doing bad stuff, and like Corey mentioned once, just because someone do things for nefarious reason, it doesn't mean that what the way they do it is a bad thing. I'm paraphrasing, but you say something along.
No, listen. Yeah. If I bash your head with a hammer, the hammer isn't bad. It's not the hammer that's at fault. Like, what are we talking about? Like the tools that you can use to manifest, if they're being used in nefarious ways, then that's none of your business, first of all, because there's people not going to be judged for that no way. They'll have consequences that'll be around it here in this life, but there's no ultimate judgment for any of that stuff. So I don't even focus on what other people do with the skill set. And you shouldn't either.
Yeah, it's just giving energy away.
Exactly. And blessed, to that point, it's keeping you from manifesting, because now you are always in a perpetual state of this is bad, that's bad, this is this. Well, then that's what it's going to be for you. And you still going to, you're using the skills regardless. You may be using the skills manifesting a bunch of bad shit in your life. Or you can use it for the good shit in your life. You choose. You using the same hammer regardless. You can either use the hammer to build the house of your life, or you use the hammer to bash in the head of your life. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. The tool is still the same. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Omar, because again, I want you to be if you're going to walk around saying you're a god, act like one.
Mm-hmm.
Stop blaming everybody else for what's going on, or this or that, that. Oh, this person did this or that, or vampiric energy. None of that shit should matter, because you should be the god of your experience. And if you are, then none of that matters.
That
right?
Absolutely
is vampiric.
Yeah.
To say it's everyone else's fault. Yeah. It's always everyone else, because you've always got
somebody else.
You know what I mean? Because then you have to have your teeth in someone else to blame them all the time and keep on saying, oh, well, it's them and. And it reminds me of the film, like, I forgot what film it was. Corey, you told us to watch that film. We went and watched it. What was it?
Inception?
No, with the vampires.
Sinners.
Yeah. You have to welcome that in. Vampiric energy is only entering if you welcome it in.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
So you welcome it in by saying it's that person's fault, or that's the person, or that's who it is to blame.
Right.
Like,
it's funny
literally the giving away is the vampire.
Right.
Energy.
Like you are calling them something while throwing all of your energy at it. Like you got a bag full of baseballs and that's all your energy, and you're like, it's that thing over there, and it's like, you're just throwing your energy away, man. Just stop. Just stop. It's okay.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's funny because it's the crab in the bucket.
Yeah.
Literally, it becomes that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, and go ahead. I'm
sorry. We have about 5 minutes before we wrap up, but there is a comment in the chat that I wanted to bring up. So let's see. 1991 says, my biggest energy vampire is my own ego mind. It's always stuck between the past and the future. So I personally would love to hear your thoughts on that, just selfishly, because I deal with that all
the time. You're probably not gonna like this answer. But stop attributing negative thoughts to your ego. Your ego is literally who you are. When people tell you get rid of ego, what they're telling you is be like everybody else and let's all be the same. Your ego is literally who you are. It is what identifies you as a soul. So as a soul, you're autonomous, right? And your ego is literally who you are. So when I leave my body, I don't become a different, holier person. I cuss, I say crazy shit, did all of that on the other side too. So I don't I don't think your vampiric energy is your ego. It's the negative connotation you have associated with the ego. And so again, we get into this whole thing of giving, and I'm gonna tell you what did it, and then I'll get off my soapbox. Religion did it to us because it made you say that either something has to be good or something has to be bad, and you attribute this polarity to literally everything in your life. And then you wonder why things don't work for the good. Well, you probably attribute more things to bad than you do to good anyway, because that's how we operate. We focus more on the negative than we do on the positive, right? So your ego isn't here to harm you. It is literally who you are. It is what you are choosing to believe is what is harming you, or choosing to know that is harming you or not harming you, right? So your soul knows all things, and your ego is the identifier of your soul. So don't attribute anything negative to your ego. There is nothing getting in your way except for your thoughts and how to manifest those thoughts, which we'll get into on Sunday.
I'm gonna also talk about what you just mentioned, Corey, about the idea behind you over focusing on one thing and then expecting to manifest again, I'm paraphrasing, something else.
Correct.
And it just won't happen. The idea of dominant frequency, all of this, it's a real thing. Studies been carried out before about it. They've been knowing about it. Things maybe we should have been taught, but that's okay because it's a game. And I would just say this. I will say, because we can all admit that we are playing this game, it makes sense to know how the game is played and the rules.
Yes.
And this is why you need to come to the event, because we're going to talk about it. The nature of this game, what is it? What's going on? What's taking place? Why this works and this does not work. And to stop you confusing the ego as being bad or sort of things that stop you, as opposed to something that is part of the integration of the experience that's taking place in this game. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. I
Les,
agree with
I'll let you go before me go.
Oh, okay, sure. So not to retread ground, because Corey nailed it. Amoni brought up a very good point to go with that. I think that's amazing between the two of them. All I would add is it's always here and it's always now, no matter who you are. And if you're stuck, if you find yourself thinking in the past or thinking about the future, then you're drifting away from where you are all the time, which is here and now.
Correct.
So if I would suggest even just to help you with that, just some mindfulness meditation, just sit in the presence of the moment, and that'll help a whole bunch too, because that recenters you, and then you're like, oh, thank God. Okay, all right, now I can go back to what I was, because now I'm back here. I brought all my energy back, and now I'm that'll help a lot. But beyond that, what Corey and Amoni had to say, spot on, absolutely.
Oh no, I'm glad you added that piece, because that is truly part of this thing. Like, on the other side, there is no future or past. We only exist in the present. So everything that I've learned from that side, I'm trying to do it here, copy it here. So if I can stay in the present here, then I'm much more able to manifest the same way I am on the other side.
Right.
So that's another key part of what we're going to be talking about too, because a lot of people think that you can just take what we're saying and automatically manifest whatever you want. There's some self-correction that you have to do, and some soul correction, some soul
limiting beliefs.
Some cleaning out of your soul closet that has to take place for a lot of this stuff to work. So we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Shem? Yeah, what do you think, Shem?
I love all of your points, and it's brought up so much. Hence why it's like, you know what, let's just wrap this up because we go on forever, you know us. But Um, Staying present is also harping back to what Corey said earlier about the lucidity check here. You know, it's part of that lucidity check that I am here, I am now. It's part of staying present and grounded in your actual experience in the moment. And what I'd also say is that's part of what I wanted to explain on Sunday is the relationship now that we've kind of picked up with the new age beliefs of what an ego is. And it's not wrong because you can't throw everything out. Like the new age movement brought us to where we are now. Now we're at just Christ consciousness, level up, Godhead, all this business. So there's things to keep. However, one of them is where we skewed the meaning of what the ego is. Even in a psychological setting, it's been augmented from what it is. There's always been 3 dichotomies to it. The ego has always been just the you without the influence of duality. So when you say that you're feeling this pull, it's understandable, but it's not the ego. It's the 2 others. It's that devil and angel. It's that
the duality,
the 2 whisperings in your
right,
ears.
Yep.
It's that, which is understandable, and yet it can get in the way when you're manifesting because you want to manifest from a centered point. But yeah, we'll get into that at the Great Unlock. So I will wrap up here. But thanks, Malekta. That was a really great point. A great question.
Yeah, that was good.
Glad you brought that up.
Really great. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Malekta,
Yes.
if you can let them know.
A couple housekeeping things for those who've already registered. You should have gotten an email today from me, from the Great Unlock email. If you haven't, you reach out to me and I'll see what's going on. I know there's a few people who've tried to register and it didn't go through. I reached out to them as well. So if you're having any issues, just email thegreatunlock@gmail.com, and that's with the 8 and great. And also just a reminder, the event is Sunday. So we're going to keep the registration open up until the time. So you can hop on, come join us. I'll be checking to make sure you get the Zoom link. The links will go out on Saturday. So we're really excited to see y'all.
Yeah, show up, bring a pad and paper too, or a Word document, whatever you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we look forward to speaking to you one-on-one. And if you can't make the actual date, you can still register and you can get the downloaded version of it.
Link down below, by the way.
Yeah. We look forward to seeing you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So thanks, everyone. And we shall see you soon. All right. Ciao.